record the. Yes, as I mentioned, a very good afternoon to all of you. And our regular routine would definitely start with circle time because that's one of the most important one. Music and rhythm are going to help our children to have their energies high in the class, and it's most essential for us also, right? So whenever we are doing lessons in classes, it's very important that we also sing along with children. We rejoice the rhymes, we repeat the rhymes, we do the same thing and again because music is something that the children can actually repeat it multiple times and it could also improvise their vocabulary. And again, choosing the songs is a great ability. It is a choice for the teacher. So you can choose the songs which is applicable to your classes. So you can go with the rules. Okay, so let's now quickly begin with a song which is very important and necessary for all of us. We got to be maintaining and we got to be following some kind of rules in our class, right? So the first song is like, it's a classroom management song. It says like, I can follow the rules. When we follow the rules in our class, when we follow the rules in our school, it's going to be an amazing class journey for all of us for that 2 hours or 3 hours of uninterrupted time. So children should essentially know the classroom song. And this is what I generally played in my class too. So we can all stand up for this one classroom song. Everyone, please put your hands together and please stand up for this wonderful song. We're going to be singing along together. And here we go for the song. Then we'll have a good day. Then we'll follow the rules. I'm going to spotlight myself too.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You can't listen? Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, very good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon. So we've just started with the circle time. Just trying to add on a little bit more of volume. All right. Okay, so here we go.
Good afternoon.
Follow the rules, I can follow the rules, and we'll have a good day when we follow the rules. Do a crisscross. Nicely. I can listen to my teacher, listen to my teacher, listen to my teacher, and I follow the rules. Do a crisscross. I can follow the directions, follow the directions, follow the directions, and I follow the rules. Crisscross. It gives me hands to myself, keep my hands to myself, keep my hands to myself, and I follow the rules. It will be nice to everybody, nice to everybody, nice to everybody, and I follow the rules. It gives us more time to learn and more time to play, more time for fun stuff every day. It gives us more time to learn and more time to play, more time for fun stuff every day. When we follow the rules at school, oh yeah. When we follow the rules at school, oh yeah. So when we generally follow the rules at school, it's going to be amazingly really good enough. But at the same time, we do have some of the children who keep tattling most of the times. And we say, please do not tattle. And how do we introduce not to tattle to children? Nobody wants a tattletale. Nobody likes a tattletale. If you tattle every day, nobody's gonna want to play. Is it dangerous to tell us? Is it dangerous to tell us? Is someone hurt? Tell us first. Is someone hurt? Tell us first. In an emergency, tell us please. An emergency, tell us please. But if it's not, be a friend. Zip it up and that's the end. Nobody likes a tattletale. tail. Nobody likes a tattletale. Nobody actually likes a tattletale, right? So it's very important that we do not keep tattling in our classes too. But at the same time, you need to also bring in some kind of actions to your classes. We're going to do a Pinocchio rhyme. So this is where we stand in a circle and we do it together. Okay, so when we are in a circle, we all hold our hands. Now just let's assume we're all together. Let's hold our hands, stretch it so that everybody feels connected. Stay standing together. Everybody in, everybody out. Everybody turn around, everybody shout, hey, everybody help. Here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm. Now holding your right arm, you have to come front. Everybody in, everybody out. Everybody turn around, everybody shout, hey, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm, left arm, everybody in, everybody out, everybody turn around, everybody shout, hey, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm, left arm, right foot, everybody in, everybody out, everybody turn around, everybody shout, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm, left arm, right foot, left foot. How do you come now? Jumping. Everybody in, everybody out, everybody turn around, everybody shout, hey, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm, left arm, left arm, right leg, left leg, up. Everybody in, everybody out, everybody turn around, everybody shout, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. Right arm, left arm, right leg, left leg, chin up, turn around. Everybody in, everybody out, everybody turn around, everybody shout, hey, everybody ready, here we go, let's do the Pinocchio. It keeps going on. Right leg, left leg, chin up, turn around, sit down. Everybody, please sit down. Thank you for joining me on time. That's an amazing team that we have. So energetic. Thank you so much. So guys, yesterday we started with our math practicals and today we're again going to be continuing with the math practical and it's our day 7. And today is our day 7. Just to have a quick recap about what were the different things that we actually started off yesterday. So we began with the introduction to our mathematics. Correct? We saw that, why it is so important to give children a great knowledge, which makes them possible. I could say it's like, give them the possible opportunities to learn some things which was related to our numerical skills, which has got a little special orientation, wherein we make sure that the children understand the numbers. We also make sure that the children understand the quantity. We slowly got them towards a sensitive period of exactly experiencing both your quantity and the numbers. Now, to help this, what we gave them was like the experience to the Montessori materials. So children started using those Montessori material, be it number rods, be it the standing numbers, be it number rods and cards, spindle boxes, cards and counters. So we gave them those manipulators or the Montessori materials that we actually call. right? And children started working, and we all started helping the children to actually work very well in that particular environment. And why do we use all of these exercises? Because they're important. It helps the children to redirect the mathematical skills. Now, what's more important for us to actually work is like repetition. So it's that, whatever you do yesterday, you got to be having the same kind of exercises that repeatedly you do it. So what happens every day when the child is actually looking at the same mathematical material, be it the sensorial part of it or be it the mathematical material, the children will start getting towards the exactness of how to be presenting that material. So once they get used to the exactness of how exactly that they need to be doing, they form some kind of an order in their mind, and the children will start to experience all those material, and they get that ability, right, to perform operations, to perform in sequence, to identify, to communicate with all of you. And that's going to be an amazing work cycle that the children are going to have. And slowly we got into arithmetic. That is when we learned about numbers. We started learning about addition. We introduced addition to children. We introduced subtraction to children. We also got to understand what is zero and the concept of zero using our spindle boxes. We also taught children how to identify whether a number is an even number or an odd number. And slowly we got into our decimal system. So that is the first set of numbers we learned from 0 to 10. And now the second set, the focus over here now from today is going to be on the decimal system, correct? So we're going to be working on the decimal system, and the children know the simple computations, how to work on the operations of arithmetic. So we are going to be working on the arithmetic operations. Like children, we need to introduce them beyond our ones, right? So it is tens, your hundreds, your thousands. We then go and teach them about the quantity of teens and tens, linear counting, skip counting, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be the agenda for today that we are going to be stepping a little forward. Okay. So the first exercise, yesterday, I think we stopped towards introduction of decimal quantity. We gave them the identification of how do you represent ones. So ones is represented by a small golden bar, and tens is represented by, what is our tens represented by?
1 bar.
Yes.
One.
Ones is represented by a small golden bead bar, and tens is represented by a long
bar.
Okay, wherein 10 ones do make up 110, and hundreds are represented by a square and represented by a cube altogether. So we understood this. So this was just the quantity that we actually gave. Now we are going to measure the quantity too. Say, for example, in case if I'm giving you a particular quantity, say, for example, if I give you 2000, how do you bring that quantity? So how many cubes should you actually bring? You need to do 1000, and then you need to bring 2000. So the child understands the quantity of this is like 2000 means I need to give 2000. So still, I'm not introducing the numbers, but orally is what I'm trying to focus. When I tell the child, can you tell me or can you show me the quantity of 40 or 4 tens? If you tell 40, the child immediately starts to put, it's like, 10, 20, 30, 40, or you go with 110, 210, 310, and 410. You did not still introduce how the number looks, but what you speed jumped was use the quantity. Now, what if I tell you, can you make a quantity of 2,300? So what should I do? I need to give 2,000. I don't have another 1,000 cube. So I will draw another cube over here. So I have 2,000. And then how many 300 should I be keeping? So the child understands 100, 200, and 300. So this makes up my quantity of 1,000, 2,000. So I have 2,000 and 300s. So this is the beauty of our material, which is called as our golden beads in mathematics, which not only helps our children to identify the quantity, it also gives them a visual representation of how each number is showing up, as a quantity. How do we actually show up each of those numbers? Okay, so now I would give you one of the number. Please make up the quantity in your book. Okay, so when I give you 2,452, try to make up this quantity. So how do you make 2,452? need to always go by the readable format. So readable format is this way. Start moving from right to left. So readable format is what you got to be arranging your quantity. So I start with my thousands. So it's 2000. So I arrange 2000s. Then as my 400s. Make sure they're all in sequence. Then 5 10s. And then the 2 1s. So this is how you would write it in your book. But if I have material, what do I do? Rather, I would arrange my material using the same way. I don't have thousands, so I'm skipping that step. So I'm going to have 400s, right? So I'm going to have 400s. I'll continue, then I'll have 5 10s, then I will have 2 1s. Now, this is just to give you an understanding about the quantity of a particular number can be represented using your golden beads. Okay, now now what could be the quantity? So it's like a 4-digit number I'm going to be starting with. Now my child understood really. Next, what is the next important thing for me is like I need to be showing to the children how the numbers do look like. And we call that material as symbols in Montessori. We call that material as symbols in Montessori, and it just looks like this. So it's got a plate, entire plate. If you see here, it's got this particular plate over here. And this is your symbol material altogether. So what I'm trying to do over here is like, when I have this material, you could see it has some of my ones. It has ones. Okay, so this is your ones. And it does have my tens as well. So it does have tens. Now, if you see here, each of your quantity is color coded. Okay, from now on, you have to remember your ones will be written in the color green, your tens are in color blue, your hundreds are in color red. Okay, so your hundreds are in color red. Okay, so this is your tens. Now I'm going to keep it over here itself. So you can see your hundreds are in the color red and your thousands will all be marked in the color green. Okay, so we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, and our thousands, which is going to be representing our symbols. Now, whenever I make any particular quantity, say for example, if I say 30, okay, so if I say 30, so what should I do? I need to have my quantity, but since 30 looks like this, I need to also associate a card to it, right? So I need to keep a card next to it because this is my symbol. This is how the symbol is going to look. And this is the quantity that it's going to be representing. So the next important material in our Montessori is we are going to be working with the symbol cards. Okay, so everyone, since you do not have the material, we're going to note it down. And the other thing what you have to note is like, this is a single digit number. The 2-digit number is as twice as this. The 3-digit number is as twice as my 1 and the 4-digit number. So whenever you're making the cards to write, your 4-digit number card has to be slightly bigger. The 3-digit slightly smaller. The 2-digit which will occupy 2 digits and 1 digit. So it has to have a difference. Okay, so I write 1, I write 10, I need to write 1000 and I need to write 1000. Okay, so this is how I got to do it. Now, I can do in the versatilities, it's like, either I can take a red color pen, okay, use the colors. Okay, so my ones are in green, my tens are in blue, my hundreds are in red, my thousands are in green. I can either write the numbers in the following colors, or I could use the slips to write it in the following colors, or I could border them in the following colors. Okay, so now let me quickly show you the presentation of how to actually represent these symbol cards. Okay, so take down your notebook and we can go and write down. So this is your symbol card material. So everyone try to open your notebook in a fresh page. We're going to write the symbols all together. Okay. Okay, it's lagging. Just give me a minute. It's still loading. It's a big file. So write down the heading as symbols. Symbols are the materials used to represent. Symbols are the materials used to represent a particular number. A particular number. Here, one set of units are from 1 to 9, and they are in the color green. And they are in the color green. And they are in the color green. Can you see my system? Can you see my screen? Yeah, okay. Next, one set of tens you will have, that is from 10 to 90, and they are in blue color symbols. They're blue symbols. And then we have 100 to 900, and they are red colored symbols, because we need to have the red colors to represent our hundreds. And then one set of thousands, that's going to be from 1000 to 9000. 1000 to 9000. You're going to be representing your thousands. Okay. So once you're done, what you need to now do is you need to draw something like this, and you got to be filling up your numbers with that, because this is important. So you got to be filling up the numbers with this. And how do I do that? How do I do that? Just the same way. Okay. Start writing numbers from 1 to 9. Okay, so that's the screen. So I'm going to be pinning it up also the same way. So what you could do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can write till there. Okay. And then you could put for your tens, that's your 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then you can have your 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. As I mentioned earlier, you could write it this way. And then from 1000 till your 9000, please complete this. Okay, so once you complete this, your system, your writing would just look like this. So you can preferably use the same colors, or you can write it in the same whatever color that you have. And you can take a screenshot of it. But always remember that ones and thousands are represented by green color, your tens are in blue, and your hundreds are going to be in red color. We use this particular thing, right? Next, why do we use these symbols? What is the usage of this particular symbols? Why do we have to use it? Now, we have to use symbols in order to introduce something to the child, correct? Now, we introduce a decimal system. But what we need to be now introducing is like how the decimal system number will be represented by a symbol. That's our entire agenda, to show it to children about how exactly that we need to be using it, correct? So for that reason, we need to be using this material called symbols. So how do you call children? You will invite children. That children, we're going to be looking and learning some of the written symbols for the quantity. So you give them the quantity and you ask them to write down the symbols for it. Okay, so that's the main exercise and the agenda that we're going to be working at. Now, what I could do next is like, say, since I have my ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands written, I would be placing corresponding labels or the symbols right below that. This is how you would be showing it to the child. So now what did your child do? The child started learning how is my number and how is my quantity. So you're trying to link both. This is your number and this is my quantity, which I would be having it for my introductory part of it. So this is important that the child learns the association of symbols with quantity. Next is you ask a child, now can you form this number? Now say for example, when I go to my next thing, I give such a bigger number, 5,346. I give this particular number. Now from here, you can notice that units and thousands are in green, hundreds is in red, my tens is in the color blue. I'm going to be writing everything in the same color code. All of you can remember this when you're taking the printouts for any of the problem statements. Just do remember this particular following. Now, what I do over here is like, since I gave 5,346 for the child to actually write down something, what I would do over here is I need to split. How can I split this? How did I get 5,346? So when I start arranging everything, so I start, see, I had from 1,000, right? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. We all did that chart. You all remember? 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. We all had this chart. Now what I'll do is I'll take up 1,000 from this. I keep it here. Then I need to take what? 300. 300 card is somewhere kept, right? 100, 200, 300. We would have kept the cards, right? You take that 300. You keep it here. Next is 40. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Somewhere the cards were kept. So I use 40. Then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I take my card 6. So how did I get this number? How did I get this number? I got this number. When I added 5,000 plus 300 plus 40 plus 6. When I started adding all of that is what I got that number. What if it was 1,346? How do I get that number? I have to add 1,000 plus my 300. So I take my 300, 1,000 plus 300 plus my 40 and plus my 6, whichever is the number, or I can take 8 or 5 or 6, any number that I would prefer. I take this. So it was like 1,000 plus 300 plus 40 plus 6 contributed to my 1,000 plus 300 plus 40 plus 6. So this is the expanded form of this particular number or a symbol. Now, when there is another exercise of changing, we call this as moving to the next part of it. Okay, so you start taking the next largest number and try to put it over here. And now you could read the number as 1,346. So any given number, this is how you would be expanding, and the symbols will be really helpful for you to help and show how exactly that you can actually make up these particular numbers in your classes. Okay, so this is one of your mathematical symbol cards that we can actually use it. Okay, so this we call it as the Montessori symbols, which you can actually use it for changing. Okay, so this was our second material. So we did golden beads. Now we did symbols. Next is what? Is using the golden beads. Now you will start making some operations. What do I mean by operations? Now using the same materials, we can actually work on a couple of things. We can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we can perform the 4 problem statements for this. The next important thing is like even in our mathematics, we will be able to perform the 4 different operations altogether after this. Now, before that, guys, before that, I wanted to share is like, whenever you're giving problem statements for children, for addition or anything, what you need to always work and concentrate is on the problem statements. Now, since I said addition will be represented by everything will have a color code. Okay. Your addition will be represented by color red. So that means when I'm performing the operation, whatever I showed you, the problem statement that you're going to be writing will also be in the red color. Okay, the red slip you will take and you'll take a problem statement and you're going to be putting it. So your addition will always represent in the red color. Subtraction will be in green color. Okay, the color cards has to be in green color. Your multiplication will be in the color yellow and your division is going to be in color blue. I will repeat again. Addition red, subtraction green, multiplication yellow, division is going to be in blue. This is the color code that we will have to follow. What is one thing that we all saw here? What is the one thing that we all saw here? Is the color code, correct? See here, all your thousands, your thousand is in your what color? Your thousand is in?
Green color.
Green color.
Color.
Green color.
In green color. Again, your tens is in the blue color itself. Your ones is in green. Your tens is in blue color. And hundreds is in the red. So you have to be very particular about the colors that you're actually giving it also. So this is one more important thing that you will have to be looking. And again, for multiplication, you can do a 1-digit multiplication, 2-digit multiplication, whatever it could be. But we're going to be seeing the rules for all of them. So far it's clear, the problem statements like what you need to be having it. Now, when you're performing addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, we can have two things. What are those two things is like, it can either be a static operation or it can be a dynamic operation. So it can either be static or it can be dynamic. So what do I mean by static? When there is no carry forward, when there is no carry over, or when there is no borrowing, when you're performing something. So there is no carry forward, there is no borrowing. So that's static. It's simple. For dynamic, you will have both. You will have a carry forward as well as you can borrow it for your subtraction. So when you have these things, we are going to have it. Next is in both of the static and dynamic, you can perform operations which is related to 1 digit. When I say 1 digit, 1 plus 1. Then 4 minus 3. 4 into 2. 2 divided by 4. All these things, 2 divided by 4. All these things are my static 1-digit operations. It's 1 digit. Okay, so nothing is, see, 4 2s are 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 3. We're going to use materials to actually use it, but we're going to have to remember that we can either perform a 2-digit, 3-digit, 4-digit operation so far. The first thing let's do is a Montessori golden bead addition. Golden bead addition. So I have to have a static addition. When I say 2 plus 3 is equal to what? What should I do? Since it's the addition of ones, I take my addend, right? So I take my addend. So the first addend is number 2 and the second addend is number 3, correct? So I have to perform what? The first addend was number 2 and the second addend was number 3. So I have to do 2 plus 3, correct? So 2 plus 3. And since it's all representing ones, in the golden beads, I would represent ones by my beads. So I join all of them together and I start counting the beads. 1, 2. So in case if the beads are rolling off, you can keep a small tray to collect your product. Sorry, to collect your answer. Okay, so it's like, 2 plus 3, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have to immediately write down your answer as 5. So this is your 1-digit static addition using your golden beads. So what if I had 22 plus 23? What if I had 22 plus 23? So I need to take, what is the first number? The first added is 22. So it's like 20. What's my units? It's 2. Units are 2. And then I have, what's the next number? I have 23. So I have to take 110 to 10 or 20, 3 is my number, correct? So 23. Now from where should I start adding? It's always from my ones. So I start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I write down the answer. 110, join them together. Then you say 110, 210, 310, 410. So it's 4 tens. So it's 45 becomes your answer. So we just did a 2-digit addition. So like that, you can do a 3-digit addition also. So 3-digit addition, you will be using your numbers. Sorry, you will be using your cards altogether. I'll skip the 3-digit. I'll go to the 4-digit directly. Okay, so I'll go to the 4-digit directly and I'll show you how exactly that we need to be doing. So you can write down any of the problem statement, whichever that you would like to do it. Okay, so we're going to do a 4-digit static addition. Okay, so everyone take a look at the static addition, what we're going to be using, and we would be using golden beads for this. Now, since I don't have, what I could say is like the smaller beads altogether, I'm going to be using this material. Okay, so carefully observe how am I going to be working. Okay, 1 second, let me open. Can you see my screen, guys? Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. So we are going to be working on this. So take a look at the other one things itself. So this is my golden bead material. So we all have understood that golden beads is representing my units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So to make it even more better, I could immediately show it to children the representation of my ones, my tens, my hundreds, and my thousands also. Since thousand is a larger cube, I'm going to be using this. Now, I'm going to be using another mat, which is called as a felt mat. You can note it down. It's called a felt mat in mathematics. Here, what you are trying to observe is you will see the notation of units, tens, hundreds, and thousands written on the mat itself. Okay, so this helps the child to position and keep the quantity in the same mats itself. And if you have seen, I have also collected some of the smaller bowls on the other side to keep my units, because most of the time my beads are rolling off. So that is one thing that I'm going to be having. The next is like, we need to have the problem statement. So you can keep them ready, or you can write in whichever way that you need to have it. Now, since we are doing the addition of 1 digit, I'm going to take the problem statement, say 4 plus 3. 4 plus 3 could be your problem statement. Now, what you need to do, it's like 4 beads and 3 beads is what you will be taking, and you'll start performing that operation. So take the problem statement closer to your golden bead material and show it to children. Okay, so I'm going to be placing my first add-in where? In my units place. It's very simple. I think we all know about this, but only thing is like, when children are transferring the beads, they got to be really careful. Okay, so they should not be taking many things all together. So they need to take one by one. So you need to start taking the beads one by one. So we did 4. Now you will collect the second add-in. That's your number 3. So start collecting into the smaller bowls itself. So you start collecting them. So this is important. The process that you're going to be following has to be really slow. Have less talking in your class. Now we had both of them. So similarly, what you do, you start now putting them together. Now you're trying to add all of them together, right? Now see how much did you get it. So it's like 4 plus 3 is how much? You start collecting everything and see what is the answer that you actually got. So 4 plus 3 was your 7. So whatever is the answer, immediately write down your answer so that the children will not forget about what could be your answer. Once the children are done with this, you start giving them something called as your addition table. Now, what's your addition table? Now, addition table is somewhere wherein you give them the format of you writing it. So what would we generally do is like we give them the entire chart. 1 plus 1 is what, 2 plus 2 is what, 3 plus 3 is what. You give them the full chart. Okay, you give them the entire tabulation of what is the addition chart that they need to do. So you can make a small worksheet like this, and you can give children 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4, or you can give anything in random. Okay, so 5 plus 6, 2 plus 3, 8 plus 9, horizontal or vertical, whichever way is convenient to you. You start giving them the problem statements and the child will be able to actually work on those problem statements. So this is very, very essential for all of us. Next thing, what you're going to be doing after that is like, the next thing is like you start working on your two-digit addition, correct? So for your two-digit addition, keep your problem statement ready. So you'll have your tens and ones. So I have my 24 and then I have my 45. So it's two tens and 4 ones. So you have to be really good enough and see the colors that I've actually written. So I've written the colors also differently. And tens needs to be positioned in your tens place and ones needs to be positioned in the ones place. Now I start reading the first problem. It's 24. So how many tens should I be keeping? I need to keep my two tens, correct? So I need to keep two tens. And then I need to be keeping 4 ones altogether. So I collect my 4 ones again in my bowl and I start putting them together. So I collected my first addend. Now I'm going to collect 40, 24 is done. Now we're going to collect what? 45. So that has to be my 45. Next number, you start collecting 45. So it's 4 tens and 5 ones. So 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, 4 10, okay, 4 10 and 5. So what's your 5 ones? So you take your 5 ones, start adding them together. It's like you know, we did that. We arranged all the materials all together. Now start adding. Adding is very simple. So you combine the first bowl to the second bowl, start adding the quantity one after the other. Whatever is your answer, immediately write down. So we are still working on static, guys. We're not working on the dynamic. Now, the readable format, you don't have to use it, but you have to use it as 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, 4 10, 5 10, 6 10. Now, why should you be reading it as that way instead of 10, 20, 30? I'll tell you the reason. Okay. So we did this particular problem, right? So I'll tell you why you have to read it that way. If you don't read it that way, what happens there is like the children will perform a little issue, okay, or a problem that they would have. Now, since this was my problem statement altogether, I did this and I got 9. This was my 2 10 and this was my 4 10s, right? So if I do 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, children will write 60. Okay, and it will yield to a wrong problem statement. If you're saying 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, 4 10, 5 10, 6 10, children will write it as 6 tens. Altogether, the answer here, if you've read it as 60, there could be a possibility of children writing 60 just like that. So these are some of the errors of controls that you could actually see in your classes, okay? So children do make these mistakes actually. So that's the reason always tell them to read it as 1 10, 2 10, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens. So 6 tens is written as 6 only in your tens position. Because it is in tens position, you write only the number 6. You don't write it as 60. So that's your two-digit addition altogether. Okay. Now, similarly, you do a 3-digit, you do a 4-digit addition, you do a 5-digit addition. It's up to you. Now, let's move on to the next problem statement. Now, say, for example, in case if I'm doing a bigger problem statement, now say, for example, if I'm taking my the problem statement as 1,234 plus 653. So I've arranged everything. So it's 1,000, 200s are there, 3 tens are there, 4 ones are there. See, 1,000, 300s are there, 200s, 3 tens, and 4 ones. And then we have 600s. So we have 600s, 5 tens, and 3 ones. There's nothing there. So that's the reason you leave it blank there. There was no 1,000 altogether. Now in hundreds, we need to position 600s. So you give all of the 600s all together and you work with the other numericals, whichever case that you actually want, and you perform the addition in a similar way. So you put all of the beads together. First you start with ones and then is like you start with your tens. So it's 3 tens and 4 tens. Sorry, 3 tens and 5 tens. So you, yeah. And you start counting them. Okay, so 310, 410, 510, 610, 710, 810. So it was 810. So you write 8 in that fraction. And if it is now in the hundreds, it's 200 plus 600. So you go with 200s plus 600. You start counting one by one. You got to be very slow in counting. 300, 400, there is no hurry. 500, 600, 700, 800. Okay, so it's 800 and then it's only 1000. So you will have to be writing the remaining as 1000 itself. Okay, so that covers your static addition using your golden beads. Now there's no other second adduent over there. Okay, so I'm writing using one hand, so you need to bear with me. Okay. So then there's nothing there, so it's just the 1000. So your answer is your 1000 altogether. Okay, so that's your first exercise wherein we performed addition. But how did we do the addition? We did it using our golden beads. There was no carry forward altogether. Okay, next time when you're performing a dynamic operation, when you're trying to work on a dynamic operation, you got to be replacing. Now say, how do you replace it? Now say, for example, if I'm counting my ones, so if I have my ones over here, 1, 2, 3, 7 I already have, 9, 10. So anytime that I get 10, anytime I get 10 ones, I have to replace my 10 ones. I got to replace my 10 ones with 110. Okay, anytime I hear 10 ones, I got to replace my 10 ones with my 110. How do we do it? Now, if I have a problem, say 8 plus 4. So what should I have? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is my first addend. Then I have to add 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when I count till here, it is my 10 ones. Correct? What should I do? I need to replace my 10 ones with 110. So that means I will remove all of them and I'll keep this. Both of them are equal. You agree? Both of them are same. My 10
Yes.
is equal to 110. Correct? Both of them were equal. So I removed that and I kept it. Now, since this was not the position of my ones, I cannot keep my tens here. But what do? I keep it on the carryover of my 10. Agree? Understood? Not understood? The problem was 8 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, till here was my 10. So, what did I do? I replaced this with 110. Okay. So, I'll remove all of these. 10 ones was equal to 110. But is this the position where I have to keep a 10 bar? No. That should be in the tens place, right? 100 should be in hundreds position, 1000 should be in thousands position. Correct? So even though I replace this one, it can't be in its position. So it has to come to tens. But since it moved from this to this, I cannot keep it here. I'll keep it above my 10. So that means it's a carry forward. I've carried it forward. I did a carry over from here to here. What was remaining? How many ones are remaining here? 1 and 2. So I write down that. I write down how much was remaining. And now start counting. How many tens are there? It's only 110. So the answer 8 plus 4 is equivalent to 12. The answer 8 plus 12, 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. Got it? Any doubts, you ask me now only, because if you understand this, stamp game will be easy. Any doubts anywhere anybody needs?
No, ma'am.
Lavna, clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this was our dynamic, because you had a carry forward. Now just think, if I have a problem of say 2-digit one, now I start writing my 2-digit problem altogether. Okay. So if I have my 2-digit problem altogether, okay, say it was like 85 plus 34. No, plus I'll give 7. 85 plus 37. So I have my tens, I have my ones, correct? So this is how I have to have my position. So my first number is my 85. So I got to arrange. So how many tens are there? 8 tens. 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, 4 10, 5 10, 6 10, 7 10, 8 10. So I have 8 tens and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 ones. So it's my first number. Then I had to add 3 tens and 7 ones. 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, and 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this was my second number. This was my first number. This was my second number. I added that. Now what should I do? I need to be adding. I need to take up a sum of both of my added. I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this number, I have to replace it with what? I have to replace it with my tens bar. So I have to replace this by my tens bar. But can I keep my 10 here? I cannot keep it. So I have to keep it here. Correct? So what was remaining here? It was only my number 2 was remaining here. So I write down 1 and 2, I write down here. Now see, this is already a carry forward. Along with that, you have so many other tens. Correct? So you start counting from here. 1 10, which is the carry forward. 2 10, 3 10, 4 10, 5 10, 6 10, 7 10, 8 10, 9 10, 10 10. The time that you hear 10 10, you have to replace 10 tens by 100. 10 tens is 100, correct? So I have to replace all of that, including this, by 100. But can I keep 100 here?
No, ma'am. Hundreds place we have to keep.
I have to keep it in my hundreds position, so I keep it here. So how many tens are remaining? It's only 1 10 and 2 10. So only 2 tens are remaining here. Only 2 tens are remaining. So what about the hundreds position? It's only 100. So I write here 100. So this is our dynamic, what do you call an operation of addition. Okay. Now if I show you the entire operation of this particular exercise, you will understand it even more better. Okay. So next is what we're going to do is we're starting with a dynamic addition. I'm going to show you one problem statement and let's see if you're able to identify that. Okay. Okay. So the next problem, let's try and see the next problem. Let me quickly share the screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
here is, what we need to do over here is, we got to be having a problem statement. You need to give a problem statement to everybody. And I'm starting with 8 plus 5. It's a dynamic addition altogether, 8 plus 5. So as usual, what you will do, you will take on the units, you will take the beads. So you take the bowls and you put your quantity, 8 beads in one and 5 beads in one, and you join them together. Correct? So 8 plus 5, you start counting. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You start counting all of them. And the time that you hear 10, that is when you would be replacing that with 110. So it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you get the 10, you have to replace your 10 beads with 110 bar. And where do I keep your 110 bar? So these are your 10 beads, and that's equivalent to your 110. So it was equivalent. So you take off all of that and you have this particular 110 bar, and that's when you quickly take it off and you start putting that on the overhead, on the carry forward. So you put them onto the carry forward. So you replace it back again into the same tray. You don't have to keep it. But since you are keeping it there, it's not position. It's in its position. You have to go back there and you have to keep your tens in that position. So you got to keep your tens there, not there. Okay. So how many are remaining now? It's 1, your 2, and your 3. So your 3 units are remaining altogether now. Okay. So it's only 3 units are remaining altogether now. So next, what you have, how many tens you have? You have only 110 which is remaining. So you have to write down as 110. So this is a dynamic operation. Why? Because you had a carry forward. You had a carry forward. So similarly, you can do it for 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers, okay, and 4-digit numbers also. Now, see, when you're taking this 2-digit numbers, 58 plus 67, what is the first step that you're going to do is like you will collect the quantity. Okay, so I collected 58. Now I'm going to take 67. Okay, so 67. So collect 60. See, 310, 410, 510, 610s are collected. And you also have your 7 units altogether over here. Now you have to carefully look at the operation. We're going to be performing a positive digit, right? So it's like a plus sign. So you need to be performing addition. Combine all of them, count it. If you find that there is a overhead or a carry forward, take that carry forward. Whatever was remaining, you put them back the moment that you hear the number 10, and take this, whatever was carry forward, put them onto your 10 section and start counting. Now, when you start counting, just see if there's anything remaining there. Yes, we had some beads which was remaining. So take those beads and you start putting them. So 8 plus 7 is 5. So if you don't have the golden beads, you can even use matchsticks for children to give. And for the ones, you can use any of the grains. Okay, so rajma or any peas or anything that you can actually use. So 210, 310, 410, 510, 610, 710, 810, 910, 1010. So when you hear 1010, you have to replace your 1010s with 100. But since I cannot keep it in my tens position, what do? I replace my 10 ones and I keep them back where? I have to keep them back in my, where should I keep?
Hundreds place.
Position. Yes, so you keep them on the hundreds position on that overhead of the position. So you replace that, you put them back into another tray, or you put them back into the same tray itself and you keep them ready. Now you start counting, how many hundreds do we have here? It's only like 2 tens were there. It's like 110, 210. Immediately take up your pen and start to write that we have 2 tens over here. So you write 2 tens and you have 1 more 100. So it's only like 100 is there. So it's 100. So this helps you to perform your dynamic because you did a carry forward of it. Similarly, you could also work with 2-digit, 3-digit, 4-digit numbers altogether. And this is what we're going to be working with our addition. So we just started with golden bead addition. We did a static addition, dynamic addition of 1-digit, 2-digit, 3-digit, 4-digit. So you have to just remember that. If it's a 4-digit addition, you have to use your cubes. But since I have only 1 cube, I will not be able to perform 3000 plus because I have only 1000 cube here. Okay, so if it was like I would have had more number of cubes, I would have given you a 4-digit a combinational problem also, but you can still work it out. Okay, so 4000 means you will have to keep 4 cubes, 300, so 300s, 3 tens. It's very simple, guys. So remember the quantity, how the representation is going to be the same way you can actually have it. So if you have, the card stocks, if you have a good amount of cardboard sheets, you can cut them, make cubes, and you can give children to actually take out that number of cubes and you can work. So when you're working with the next material called stamp game, it becomes even more easier for you to work with because this material takes up a lot of space to perform bigger operations. So that's the reason we go to the next material in the stamp game. But again, in the golden bead subtraction, what we could also do is like, the same way is what you can do. Now, when I say 4,000, say for example, let me draw. That becomes easy for me. Okay, note down the problem statement. Note down the problem statement. Dynamic or static subtraction of a 4-digit number. I'm not going to do 1, 2, 3 because it's going to be easy for all of us. So we're going to do a 4-digit number altogether. We're doing a 4-digit number. So it's like, say, 5,634 plus, okay, plus 3,242. This is what is my number. So what I need to do over here is, since it's 5,000, what should I do? I need to be drawing how many cubes altogether?
5 cubes.
5 cubes.
I need to draw 5 cubes altogether, right? So I need to draw 5,000s, right? So it's 5 cubes. So I have my 5,000s and I need to have 600. So it's like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, then 30. So it's like 10, 20, 30, and then 4. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have this. Plus, what should I do? Plus 3,000 plus my 3,000. Again, I have 200s. So I have my 200s. Then I have 40s. 42. Correct? So I have my 42. So what I need to do now is I need to perform. Oh, sorry. So, sorry. Guys, sorry, we were doing subtraction, right? Sorry for this, okay? So we are performing a subtraction operation. So probably I'll give this number, I'll change this number to 110. Probably I'll add this to 110, okay? So I'll remove this. Sorry for that, okay? So it's like we're going to be performing a subtraction, 5,634 minus 3,212. So for subtraction, always you have to arrange only the top number. Okay, so always remember only the top number you need to be arranging. You're going to be arranging only the top number. You have only 5,634. Now what you need to do is like you need to start to take away, correct? So when I take away something, how much should I be taking away from my ones? I need to take away how many ones from 4 ones?
2
Ones I have to take away. So I take away this 2 ones. I
شوف اخوك يسوي.
Ones and I'll keep it somewhere a little far onto another tray. So what did I just do? I took away the 2 and I kept it somewhere. You're getting it? I had 4 ones. I took away 2 ones and I kept it in a tray. Now
شوفوا يسوي برا.
Now I have 3 ones. I have 3 ones. Sorry, 3 tens. How many 10 should I be taking away?
1.
110.
1.
So I need to take away this 110 and keep it somewhere else. So what did I just do? I took out my 110 and I kept it here. Next, I have my 600s. I have to take away how many hundreds?
100.
200.
Correct? So I need to take away 200s and keep it onto my tray. I took away my 200. Then I have my 5,000s. I need to be taking away how many thousands? 3,000s. Correct? So I take away 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 and I keep it here. Okay, so we did a takeaway of our thousands. So we are doing a subtraction. So what was remaining for me is my answer. So what was remaining for me? Just I'll start counting. Okay, so I have 1, 2. So my 2, I have 110, 210. So 210, 100, 200, 300, 400. So 400,
400,
1,000, 2,000.
2000.
So this is our subtraction. Okay, so you need to remove it. Okay, so whichever you don't need it, you need to take away that particular conceptual over here. Clear? Is this clear? Is there anything that
Yes.
you not understood? You can ask.
اسمع.
Clear? So far, it's very simple, right? So this is our subtraction. Now, when it comes down to multiplication, you got to be little careful because multiplication can be represented with different things. Like as groups you can represent, okay? So what you need to do for multiplication is as added addition also we can represent. Now when I say 4 into 2, okay? So we read it as 4 2 times, correct? 4 2 times, 4 2 times. So that means this 4 is a group, correct? So I need to have how many? 4 of them together in one group. Now this 4 is multiplied how many times? 2 times. This is my 4 one time. When I take back my 4 again, it becomes my 4 2 times. Now since we are working with 4 2 times, I need to take it 2 times. Now what should be my answer? I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My answer is 8. But when I say 2 4 times, when I say 2 4 times, 2 becomes a group. 2 1 time, 2 2 time, 2 3 time, 2 4 time. Now did you get the difference? 2 4s are 8. 4 2s are also 8. But look at the representation. This first one is called the multiplicand. This is called the multiplier, which tells about how many times are we going to be multiplying this. How many times are we going to be multiplying? We can also go with skip counts also. Skip count is also related to your multiplication itself. Okay, so we skip that many times to get our answers. So we will do that when we're doing a linear skip count. So did you get this exercise? Did you get this correctly? Okay, so when we're trying to do this with our golden beads, it is also simple. Say for example, with my golden beads, if I say 234, 2 times. How do I do with my golden beads? I need to first arrange my material. How many hundreds? 100, 200. Okay, so 234. 234. Agree? One time. I've done one time. Now again, 234 2 times. Amina, got it? Okay. The problem was 234 2 times I have to do. Okay. Using my golden beads to do this. What is the thing is like, this is my multiplicand. Correct? This is my multiplicand and this is my multiplier. So what I need to do first is I need to collect my multiplicand. What is the quantity? The quantity says 234. Now I'm using what? I'm using golden beads. Okay, 200. How do I represent in golden beads? Square.
2 cube.
200s, correct? See, I'm doing it because I cannot put this because the entire screen cannot be seen. Okay, so that's the reason I'm drawing this. But every time I'm drawing a square, it represents this. Okay, so it's 200 30. Okay, and then
Yeah.
it's 1,
Four.
3, 4.
Four.
I've done 234 one time. I finished one time. But my multiplier is 2 times. So what I have to do? One more time I have to add the same quantity. 234 2 times. This was one time. This is 2 times.
Okay.
This is like giving dairy milk 3 times. Okay, so Amina gets 1, again 1 time, again 1 time. So she gets 3 times the same dairy milk chocolate. Okay, so you got the quantity. Now what you're trying to do, you're doing a multiplication. So multiplication is nothing but addition only, repeated addition. You're repeating the same quantity that many number of times. So we also call multiplication as repetitive addition. Okay, we're going to use that method to perform here, and we're going to add it. Adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 110, 210, 310, 410, 510, 610. 100, 200, 300, 400. So 234 2 times is equal to 468. Okay, so that equals 468. Now try doing another problem yourself, everyone. Try doing another problem yourself. I'll give you another problem. 2,342. I'll give 32 2 times. 2,332 2 times.
Ma'am, done.
Done? Okay. So how is your representation, Mani? Can you just show it to me?
Like this.
1 second.
Sorry. I have 5, 4 under the 1,000. 6, 6, 4.
Correct. 2,300. Yes. 30. Yeah. 2. Yeah. 4,664. Correct. Thank you. Has anybody completed? Okay. I see Priya completing it. Okay. So 2,300. Okay. 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 Correct. Done. Correct. So I also have, who else is completed? Delphin showing it to me. Delphin, 4,000, correct. Yes. Swagatika, yes. Swagatika, can you show it to me? Okay, correct. Yeah. Yeah. Amina, yes. Amina, yes. Correct. Correct. Yeah. All done? All done? Devalina, yes. Correct. All right. Okay.
Ma'am, done.
Who's done? Okay. Monica, yeah. Correct. Lobna, yes. 4, 6, 8, 4. Yes. Okay, so you've still got it with 4 itself, is it? Okay, I changed the problem to 3 later. Not to worry, but yours is correct. Okay, Padma Priya ma'am, is it done? Still doing? Okay, all right. Okay, Adeline. Done. Correct. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, I can't see. You have to get it a little closer. Yes, correct. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. I could see. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Okay. So that was your multiplication. Now, similarly, what you do is like you can also add your problem statements for your division also. Now, in division, what is important is like I have to collect my dividend. Now, say for example, here, I have to give one condition. I give a condition to students. I say that it has to be equally divisible. This is the only condition I give when we are doing golden beads because we cannot break. We have to make sure they are equally divisible ones. Now, say for example, if I give 555 divided by 5. What is this? This is my dividend. I have my dividend and this is my divisor. And whatever answer I get, that is my quotient. Remainder I will not have. I will not have remainder. Okay, so whenever I will be writing or giving problems to my child, I will make sure there is no remainder. That's the reason I have put a condition that it has to be equally divisible. So we need to be making sure that it will be equally divisible. Now, what is the first thing that I told? I told that we have a dividend. So I take my tray and I collect my quantity. How do I collect my quantity? I read it's 555. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Okay, much before that, let's take a simple example and understand division. Okay, now just imagine it's Lobna's birthday and she has got a chocolate tray wherein she has 5 Dairy Milk silk chocolates and the tiny ones. Okay, so she has 5 of them and she has 5 friends. So that means on her birthday she will have to distribute all these chocolates amongst her 5 friends. So she will have a friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, friend 4 and friend 5. So she will have to give it to all of them. Which one she will start to give first, or which chocolate will the friends will also like first? The bigger, the better, correct? The bigger it's the better. So Lobna gives bigger chocolate to each of her friend. She has to distribute. Division is a nice thing. It's distributing. Division is more of fun because we got to share things, whatever we have. So we distribute it. So she distributed all these 5 chocolates amongst her 5 friends. Is something still remaining? We still have the smaller toffees, right? So again, she goes and gives to all of them. But she is very good. Huh? She will not do any partiality between one of the friend giving more. She will give equally to everyone. How much did one friend get? How much did each of the friend get? They got one big chocolate and one tiny toffee. Each one got that. That's your division. Okay. So now what you need to do is like whenever you have something like, 555 divided by 5, it is similar to that. This is similar to our chocolate box. So you need to collect the quantity. So I will have to first take my tray and I collect the quantity. I go to my shelves. I collect how many hundreds?
500.
100, 200. Then I go collect 300, 300, 400, 500. So I take 500s. Then I have to take how many tens? I need to take 5 tens. So I take 5. I keep it ready. And how many ones I have to take?
5.
5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to take 5 ones also. So I collect all of this. Now I need to be distributing, correct? So I need to distribute it among how many friends?
5.
5 friends.
5.
So I need to distribute it among 5 friends. So I bring those 5 friends. Friend number 1, friend number 2, friend number 3, friend number 4, friend number 5. Correct? So I have to give to each one of them. So what do I do here is what? These are called skittles. Okay? So these are called skittles because I'm going to be distributing among them. So I had my dividend. So this is my dividend which I collected. Now I'm going to be distributing among all of my divisors. So I start giving to each one of them. I start distributing to each one of them. The last one you can't see. Okay, so there's another one also here. You will not be able to see it because it's out of the screen. And then I go with the next smaller one. What's the next smaller one? It's my tens. The next smaller one is my. Okay, now is what I distribute my ones. Then I give my ones.
Okay.
How much did each one got? Each one got 100.
11, 10.
And 1 1.
10.
They got 100, 110, and 1 1. So my answer is 111. So 555 divided by 5 is 111. 111 is my answer. Got it, guys?
Yes. Yes. Nice.
Always start with a bigger quantity itself. So write down another problem statement. 36 divided by 4.
36.
36.
6 divided by 4. 6 divided by 4. 36 divided by 4. So how much you will collect? 36. So you have to start distributing among how many people? 4 people.
Or 4.
You have to start distributing with 4 of them. You start with a bigger quantity. 1, 2, 3. See, for the other one, you don't have something to give here. Are you here? How many were stuck there? I said for 4 people you have to give. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you see, we had only how many tens? 3 tens.
3, 10.
If you all get stuck, see, this fellow does not have to give. I cannot give him anything. Is this a fair division?
No.
He will be sad if I don't give him anything. Correct? So what?
Yes.
So this falls under dynamic. So what I will do is I will not give for any of them. All these 3 tens, I will replace it with ones. How many ones I should have then?
30.
Correct. See, this is 1 10 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ones. This is 1 10 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is another 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I replaced my 3 tens by 30 ones. I replaced my 3 tens by 30 ones. Since I could not give it, what I'll do, in addition, I did a carry forward. But in this one, I'm trying to break it. So I'm trying to even make my 10 ones at 1 10 bar to 10. Got it? Got it. Now I have so many. So this will not be there. So 30, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So this got over. Now I have some more here. How many are there? 6 are here. So I start giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I completed this. So how much did each one get? How much did each one get? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each one got 9, and that's the answer. Is anybody stuck anywhere? Any part you can follow? Any part?
The answer is 9.
The answer is 9.
how we can give, ma'am?
How?
6, how we can distribute, ma'am?
Give it to them. See, after 30, I was almost here. After 30, see, 30, I was here. I was here.
Okay.
Then the remaining 6 have to continue. Now, see, they will be together only. I've kept it here, but I could not draw it. I'll keep it here only. Okay, then I'll put.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Got it, ma'am.
Got it?
Got it.
Others, anyone has got any?
Mom, I didn't get it. How you find? I
Eight,
Not get it.
nine,
Okay.
11, 12, 14, 15, 16,
You have 30. When you have
23, 24,
and you need to give it back.
28, 29, 30.
Correct? 36, you had to give amongst how many of them? 4 of them you had to give. Correct? You had to give 4 of them the 36. So this you had already collected it. So what was the quantity? The quantity is 3 tens. Okay, this 3 10. And you had some 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 ones you had it. Okay, I'm not keeping the beads here because they're rolling off. Okay, now what I have to do is, see, division is distribution. You have to evenly distribute it to all of them. You cannot just stop it. That's the reason I put one condition. It needs to be equally divisible. I start with my bigger number. That's my 3 tenths. I start giving it. What about for this? I don't have anything. Correct? So what I can do here is like, I need to replace my 3 tenths by 30 ones. Why? Because 110 is my 10 ones. Correct? So what I'll do is, for 110, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Equal? Both of them? They're equal?
Yes.
So 110. So I'll take this off. Now I need to also replace this one with my tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have one more of this. This also I have to, how many ones? 10 ones. Correct?
yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many ones are here?
31.
30.
31 are equal to 3. Agree?
Yes, ma'am.
31
Yes, ma'am.
equal to 3 ones. Now, can I give them? But earlier, I also had 6 ones, now
Yes.
6 ones. So I will also take that 6 ones also. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I'll also have that. So totally now in this tray, how many ones I have?
36
36.
one.
36 I have. Now what I need to do,
Yeah.
I need to start to distribute. Okay. Now I will not keep the beads. I will keep the dots. Instead of the beads, I'll keep the dots. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Distribute 1, 2, 3, 4. Still I have so many? Still I'll have many, right? I had
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10. Means 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have to keep keeping like that. Okay?
Okay.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Done with my beads. Now all the beads got over. How much did each one get? How many beads were there? 1, 2, 3,
We
4,
have to
5, 7, 8. Each one had. My answer
9.
divided by 4 is 9. That's the reason I said it needs to be equally divisible. If I would have had 37 divided by 4, I would have one remainder. You're getting it? So we should not have anything which is going with the remainder conceptions. altogether. So it has to be equally divisible. Clear? This is called a long subtraction or a long division. But it is also dynamic because you did a replacing, correct? So you did a replacing, so it's long. Understood, Lobna, now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Since you're all not doing with the materials, right? So it's kind of little confusing. Even when we do it at the classes for the very first time, when I'm explaining, it looks simple. But until the students come over and start working with the materials, it becomes difficult. So what you could always do is like at your home, if you have some beans or something, any kind of grains which is slightly big enough, try doing these exercises. So it's going to be helpful for you. You can give any problem statement and start working with that. So this helps you to work on the operation. Clear? So what did we do? We did subtraction, we did multiplication, we did division and addition. You can do the same way for all your 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, 4 digit, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The next material that we're going to be having after this is going to be either your stamp game or your linear cards. Okay, so we'll do the teens board now, and then we will do the same subtraction and addition for the next one. So note down, the next material is going to be your teens quantity. So just take a quick 1 minute break. Okay, so I'll set up my teens board meanwhile. Take a 1 minute break. If you want to sip some water, stretch your hands, muscles, you could do that. Some music so that you could refresh all of you.
Ma'am,
Yes.
please, can you write again for us your number? It's starting by 009 or?
My phone number?
Yeah.
9980508690.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, if you have any doubts on any of the material, please let me know. I can share you the recordings of individual problems. Okay, so that's going to be helping you to actually look through. If you want, I'll share you the links for each of those material, like whenever we do it in the classes. So I'll give you that too. Okay. I've pinned my number. If you need any help, you can just directly message me on those materials. Okay. Now, the next quantity that I wanted to introduce is, see, so far we have learned only like 10, 20, 30, 40. Nobody asked me why, Divya ma'am, after 10 you went to 20, 30, 40. No one asked me why not 11, 12, 13, 14. Did it flash? We were doing only bigger numbers, but we did not do the smaller numbers. Nobody realized, or how is it? Okay, no problem. Okay, see, whenever in Montessori it becomes easy, is like, start with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's easy for you also to tell about the quantity, like how children are able to learn it. And then it's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, because it's like 110, 210, 310, 410, 5 tens. So it's easy for children to count. So as with 100, 200, 300, 400, and then 1000, 2000, 3000, and 4000. So it was easy for the children also to associate a quantity to a number. But moreover, in between of these, there are other numbers like 11, 12, 13, 14, two-digit numbers. Or in between, they are like 232, 233. There are other numbers also, which is in between. But right now, we are only focusing after 10 is our teens. Okay. So when we are introducing our teens, we use a material called as teens quantity. We use a material called teens quantity, which is going to help the children learn numbers from 11 to 19. Okay. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, who have our teens quantity. Now, when we are learning on the teens quantity, we need some of the materials. This is our teens quantity material. Okay, so let me quickly show it to you all. Like, how does your teens quantity material look like? So it looks like this. Okay, now it has so many beads. If you see here, it has so many beads. Now, earlier, we had individual beads, correct? Now, say for example, if I had number one, I had this tiny golden bead. Can you all see? Can you all see the bead in my hand, the tiny one? So it's very tiny. The same bead is represented with this material. So I'm picking it from this board now. So my teens quantity will also have a tiny, the number one, but it will have a little tied up with this. And then similarly, if I take two beads, if I take two golden beads, one and two. So how do I show it? Let me remove myself. If I take my two golden beads, okay, so I have two golden beads. Okay, both of them will be tied together. Two golden beads, so I have two beads tied together. Now, if I have three golden beads which is tied together, it's going to be in this color. So pink color. So like that, individual numbers we can see and they are being tied up together because it's going to help you to actually work. So why is that? I have my number two like this. And number one is a red color. This is my number two. This is our number three. My number four is going to be in the color yellow. Number five is blue. 6 is gray. 7 is this, white. 8 is my purple. 9 is my blue color. Okay. Now, why do you think that we need this material is when you're trying to introduce your number 11. The number 11. So what is number 11? It is 10 ones, sorry, 110. How many ones?
1.
Correct? 10 ones and 1 makes my number 11. Now, instead of keeping this golden bead, I would be keeping this. 10 1 and 2, sorry, 110 and 2 ones is my 12. 10, 11, 12. 110 and 3 ones. This is 10, 11, 12, 13 is my 30. Got it? So we use this material to introduce our numbers from 11 to 19 and it's called teens quantity. But how does the symbol look like? We need to also introduce the symbols, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We need to also show the numbers, right? See, always first we need to introduce quantity. Then is what you will introduce your symbols, correct? To introduce your symbols, we have something called as our teens board. Okay, so we have something called as our teens board. Now, teens board will just look like this. Your teens board is going to look like this. Okay, so your board is going to look like this. Okay, so it has numbers from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, how is this 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 like this? It's a board which can be mounted into multiple parts altogether. So, it will not have these cards. These are individual cards which I can take it off. I will have individual cards like 3, 4, 5. I can remove it off. So it will have another board like the same board. Another one will also be there. And each of the compartment, you would see a number. Now say for example, on my left hand side on my board, if I want to make a quantity say 11, what do I do? It's 110 and 1 1, correct? So 110 and 1 1. So I already have 110. I need to have 1. So I take those individual card of 1 ones. There is a slight slaughter here. If you see here, if I'm bending here, so even when you're sliding it, the card will not go further. It will get here. See, even if I'm pushing it, it will not go further. So this is how the child learns it. 11, 110 and 1 1 is 11. This is how the symbol looks, and this material is called your teens board. To show the quantity, we use this colorful beads. Okay, so that will represent your quantity. The next number is 12. So it's like 110 and 2 1s. So I'm replacing it with what? I'm replacing it with my green color, correct? So I'm going to be replacing it. See, so it's my 10 ones and 110 and 2 1s. I'm going to have. So now I have to add my quantity because I have to show the number to my child. So I replace it with my 2. So this is my 11. This is my 12. So likewise, if I'm adding 110 and 3 ones, what should be my number?
13.
13. So we insert it. We have 14. We insert it. We have 15. We insert this. So this is my teens board. So I would have 2 boards like this. It's a compartment wherein I would have 2 sets of boards like this to introduce what? To introduce my numbers to our children. So is it clear? Can you all see the full board? So you will start introducing numbers from 11 to 19 using the symbol board. Okay, it's a board. And the goal and the colorful beads are called your teens quantity. It's called teens quantity. Now with this, what can you perform? I'm going to show you right now. You can perform addition. You can perform anything. Okay, say for example, if I give you this, stop me wherever you are not understanding. Okay, with the same thing, I can give multiple additions also, but you need to have this golden beads also. I'm putting back all of them. Okay. Keep this. I can give addition also. Okay, so with the help of the same material, I could also give addition. Now say for example, this plus this. What is this number? The children will start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 plus 8. So start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The time that you have your 10, you have to replace it with golden beads, and whatever is remaining was 3, right? Okay, so I'll not do that now. I'll do that when I'm doing a snake game because you will get confused without another alternative material. Okay, so we can do simple addition. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, something like that, which does not have a carry forward. Okay, so it's like 1 plus 2 is this. 1 plus 1 is this. So you can do addition like this. 1 plus 2. Then you can have 1 plus 3. Then you can have 1 plus 4. And you can continue. You can perform simple addition also with that. Clear? Clear, guys? Stop me wherever that is. Yeah? Clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes.
So take a look if completely in case if you have missed out, because I could not show you all of the arrangements because the board is very small and I will not be able to show everything. I'll just give you a slideshow. System looks a little slow today. But you're understanding the material, right? There's so many materials actually. You're understanding it, right?
Ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Yes, yes. Yes.
Ma'am?
Yeah. Tell me.
This materials we should us as a teacher every day take it with us in the school, is it?
You
This
will-
material
Yes.
we should have it, is it?
You should have this material. See, if you're teaching in a Montessori school, you should have this material. If you are not having this material also, you can make some material with some cards. Okay? How would you make with cards? How would you make with cards? Is you can print out those cards like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I'll give you the printable sheets. If you need it for your class, I'll give you the, you could print them up. You could print them up and you can actually use it in your classes too. So that's going to be really helpful for you to actually work with your children. Most of the Montessori schools will definitely have these boards in their classes. But in case if you don't have it, you can always make. If you can go to montessoriprintshop.com, it gives you a lot of printables. There are some of the free printables there, but some of them you can buy out. But if you are really good in using your computer, you can make your own cards yourself. You don't have to buy from them. You can use it, but you can at least check like what kind of a template that you actually need it. But if you need any of the ready-made templates, do let me know. I'll share it with you. Okay, so you can just WhatsApp me if you need it. I'll share you that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Quantity arrangement would look like once you've completely arranged everything, how it's going to look like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So you will tell children that, you know, when the children is beginning to count, you will say 110 bar and you will add up that many ones. 110 and 1 is 11, 110 and 2 ones is 12, 110 and 3 ones is 13, and you'll go on like that. And you would repeat it. So this is the first exercise that you're going to do here is like, you introduce the quantity using your teens quantity and you introduce a number using your teens number board. There are two different materials. Okay, so this is your teens quantity and this is going to be your teens number board altogether. So you have to be using both of them together. Once this is done, is what you're going to be doing is you can perform simple additions also with that, and that was your teens quantity, right? Now see, this is how initially, no, this is tens quantity, let's not do. Now for the tens quantity, you will have a different material which is called as a tens board. In teens, you had everything was 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. But in teens quantity, in tens quantity, you will have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You will have this as the quantity. You will keep the golden beads also. And along with these, you will also have individual number cards from 1 to 9 also you need. Because you want to make numbers, right? 25, 32, 47, 56, whichever number that you actually wanted to do it. Now you first show them the quantity. If it's 10, it's 110. If it's 20, 210, 30, 310, 40, 410, 50, 510. Slowly is what you start sliding the numbers. You start sliding the numbers. Whatever was the loose numbers, you start sliding those particular numbers so that, you know, you make the other alternative numbers. Now say for example, if it was 25, okay, look here, the second number is 25. So you had to keep 2 tens and 5 ones. Okay. And Lobna, you were asking me, right? I don't have this material. You can make using chart papers. Just like how I have put it on the other side here, 10 and 2, 2 and 5, you can make it in the chart papers and you can give it for the children to actually make it. Okay, so that is how you can actually introduce your tens quantity. Thereby, children are going to be learning the numbers from 1 to 100 or 1 to 99 that they would be very, very perfect with. And that is your material for today. Okay, so that was your content for today. So I'm just going to give you a quick recap of what were the different materials that we did for today, and what are the materials that we're going to be doing it for tomorrow. I'll give you the quick update on all of that. Okay. So quickly take a look. We started off with our symbols, the Montessori symbol cards. Now the symbol cards had units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Each of the cards was slightly bigger than one. And then we went into our golden beads. We did operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, and 4 digit, both static and dynamic. And after that, we went into the third material now, and that was our teens quantity. Yeah, to introduce numbers from 11 to 19. And the board had two perforations of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 written. And then at last, now I just showed you the tens board. Now the tens board will have numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And we can start making what? We can start making the numbers all together using your teens and tens. That was one of the introductory way that you could actually work with your tens quantities and your teens quantity. Okay, is that clear? Tens and teens, is it clear? So you need to have a material called what? Tens quantity and teens quantity.
Quantity.
Okay, so if you have those two material, it becomes really easy for you to produce this material in our Montessori. Okay, so the problem statements, you can keep them ready for your presentation, and you could actually work with your other kind of exercises too. Okay, so that's going to be really helpful for you to actually work with. I had the visual representation of my tens quantity. Just
Ma'am, can you show the tens board once again?
Hello.
I'll show you the tens board. Take a look, all of you. This is how the tens board is going to look like. This is how the tens board is going to look like. It will have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And the last part is going to be empty. Now, you will also have individual cards. Okay, so when you're sliding those cards into it, you can 13.
بعدين ما بهذيك
Okay, so you can
بالخرخلة
the numbers along with that. So you can 19, you can make with that. And then you can have with any other numbers. Now, if you're running with the other numbers like 24, 35, make any random numbers. Or you can go sequentially, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. You can go randomly also. But you're going to be using the same ones cards and the tens cards. Now, it is important that you also give quantity. Now, for quantity, say, I'm going to use only from 1 to 5 now. So this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. And now say, if I want to have my 110, for 210, I will have to use 2 tens. For my 310, how many tens I'll have to be using? I'll have to use my 3 tens. Now take any number. Say if I'm taking 1, what's my number? It's 11. Now if I'm taking 22, what's my number? It's 22, and the quantity is also 22. So if I'm taking 35, the quantity is going to be 35. So what did we just do here? We associated our number to our quantity. Now this, you can give it to children. You can start exploring right from 11 to 99. Any of those things also, you will be able to sort it and you will be able to work along with that. Okay. So that gives children also one of the idea to explore your numbers from 11 to 99 using your tens board. That's your tens board. Clear? Any doubts?
Yes, clear, ma'am.
Okay. So teens board was also very, very simple. It was similar to that itself. The tens board is also there. So the only difference between your teens and tens is that teens will have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Your tens board will have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's the only difference. Your teens will have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Your tens bar will have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It will have like that. That's the only difference between both of them that you have. Let me show you one more time the teens quantity. If you get those two things correct, it's going to be helpful for your children also to work with that. So this is how your teens quantity would look like. Okay, so it will see, as I mentioned, everything is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, and it will have the same individual cards, 1 to 9. Any number you take. So it's like, 11, then you make it 12, you make it 13, 14, 15, 16. You go in sequence for each one of them. So you have a board. That is your teens board. See, you made till 19. What's the next thing? You got the symbols ready. Now you need to have what? You need to have your quantity, correct? So you keep the quantity side by side. The quantity helps you to actually work with it. So it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So whatever was your quantity, you can keep them. If you're trying to make number 11, your quantity, your number, and your quantity is being associated. So you tried and associated a number to a quantity. So 13, it's 1, 10, and 3 ones make 13. So 1, 10, and 4 ones make 14. So like that, you can actually make up all your numbers. Okay, so till 19, you can actually make up all your numbers and you will introduce the quantity. Now it becomes easy. Now the child understands what is 19. It's 1, 10, and 9 ones to make up my 19, and 1, 10, and 2 tens, whatever that number that you're actually giving. So you're going to be making it up all together. Okay, so that covers the topic or the 3 different materials that we had to use it for today's class. Okay, so yes, so let's wind up our class by a nice circle time sing along. So you can pack all your books and keep them aside and stand up for a nice roll up song. It's from the Davy D. If you're all
Ma'am,
ready.
can you give me the website name that you had given, no?
Which one?
That's something you said, montessoripart.com, something you said, no?
Called montessoriprintshop.com. I'll give you the printables if you need it.
Okay.
Okay, there you have some of the free printables are there.
Okay.
You need to exactly print those worksheets, right? So if you're doing a division, it needs to be equally divisible. So if you have those, you can print it out so that the teacher will not make any mistakes when you're giving a problem statement. When you want children to learn about static addition, you don't want to give a dynamic one by mistake because of any it could be any errors. You don't want to do that. In that cases, you can be very sure you can print from that directly. It's called www.montessoriprintshop.com.
Sure.
Okay, I'll text it to you in the group itself. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
If you need any printables, do let me know. Okay, I will share it to you individually. All right. All right. Okay, so let's
Thank you.
Let's stand up for
Yes,
our.
ma'am, you can also share with us this like first in language. You share with us the PDF of languages. You can also for mathematics.
Okay, I'll give you that. Because mathematics, I cannot give you one. I'll give you the links of individual activities. We do have presentations for individual activities. When you go through that in detail, it becomes easy for you. I'll share you the link for each of the activities. It's going to be easy for you to understand it even more better.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank
It
you.
occupies a large space. Math class occupies a large space. You need good space, like 5 feet, 4 feet, each of the working mat. I don't have so much. My desk is very tiny over here and it cannot take up all the material. That's the reason I'm showing you all the recorded versions when I'm trying to show it to all of you. Okay, so I'll give you the individual links. Look at it. And wherever there is a possibility at your schools, do work it out. Okay, so that's important. Okay, let's stand up for a nice energetic song. Okay, it's called Roll Your Hands from TV. Shake them, just like this. Shake them, just like this. Shake them, just like this. And roll your hands. Wiggle them, just like this. Wiggle them, just like this. Wiggle them, just like this. Shake them just like this. Shake them just like this. Bring that blood just like this. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so this one, it's called a Hockey Pocky song. And then by this, we will wind up our session. Okay, so let's go on. Yeah. That's what it's all about. You put your left arm in, you put your left arm out, you put your left arm in, and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, the hokey pokey. Oh, the hokey pokey. Oh, the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. That's what it's all about. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, do the hokey. Oh, do the hokey. Oh, do the hokey.
ثانية نفسي واقفين ولا بس
Put your hand out, put your hand in, and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. That's what it's all about. You put your hand in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, the hokey pokey. Oh, the hokey pokey. Oh, the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. Very nice. Thank you. And
Thank you, ma'am.
nice around. Jump up high. Okay. Clap your hands. Sit down. Stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, goodbye, see you again. Goodbye, goodbye, see you, my friends. Goodbye, goodbye, I had fun today. I had fun today. Stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Shake your body. Stand still. Okay. Stomp your feet. Turn left. Turn right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, goodbye, see you again. Goodbye,
Huh?
goodbye, see you,
لا
my friends.
لا ما باين.
Goodbye, goodbye,
Goodbye, goodbye. Yeah.
I had fun today. I had fun today. I had fun today. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, ma'am. Thank you
Bye,
very
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Okay,
everyone.
bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.